Good morning, everyone. Guten Morgen. We're live on YouTube only today, and if you guys hear an echo, I do apologize, but I'm in a 10 building. My microphone has no signal, it says, but it does. It does. What's happening, everybody? Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, good people. Good morning to you. It's 8 a.m. Let's get it going. Oh, let's see. Let's just go to this screen real quick. Whee! What's going on there? Mine's far over. There we go. What's happening, everybody? Ow. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Steven, what's happening, brother? How are you? Huh, I wonder why the chat's not showing up on screen. I'm on a laptop here because I don't have everything ready. Wow, that got moved way over there. Chat box. There we go. Should work now. You're printing venture crap? Ooh, I haven't actually printed much. This build has taken all of my energy, strength, willpower, and time for this building, and I'm nowhere near done. The exterior is done, but we still have framing and electrical and spray foam insulation and all sorts of goodies. But we're making way. But I wanted to stream because I haven't streamed in a very long time. And it was frankly kind of upsetting me. What's up, Mythical? How are you? Why is the chat not showing up? That's interesting. Yes. Oh, thank you. She got me a burrito. SpongeBob! uh, yeah, power and drive are in short supply. They definitely are. It has been, let me do this on the laptop keyboard. There we go. Good chat the other night. I was on the other night. I don't remember. I don't remember anything anymore. But we are streaming only on the YouTubes, so I didn't want to bother because I don't have all the equipment set up for, streaming to Twitch and all that stuff. I don't have all Stream Deck or my touch portal machine, all that good stuff. Oh, a few days ago, yeah. Put a solar. So I was thinking about a solar panel setup, and for all the printers and everything, I would need about 6 kilowatts. And so I went shopping, and I could actually do that for about $4,000. So if anybody wants to give me $4,000, put it in the kitty, I'll happily do a solar panel setup. Go completely off grid. Speaking of, it's too bad Lee Marie 3D isn't here, but we got 65 foot of copper clad aluminum service entry cable. 8 each side, 16 panels, 2 batteries. No, actually. That particular setup to run 24 hours a day would take 22 panels, 8 batteries, and a grid tie for backup. Yeah. But no, I actually plan on doing some work, and I figured I'd bring you guys along for the journey. I would have had most of the framing up, but steel-sided buildings, you have to build them a little bit differently, and they don't follow a lot of the same rules. So in order for me to frame internally to the actual, good morning, Hiddle. But in order for me to frame internally to the actual building itself, instead of building a separate wall, I needed strong ties so I can uh, screw straight into the steel supports themselves. I had to order these because nobody in my town had them. So we've got strong ties. I've got wood already pre-cut. So we're actually going to be putting up some framing today. And hopefully by tonight, I will be spraying spray foam. That is my goal. I did, for these, I'm screwing. Yeah, the entire building, guys, there are so many nuts and bolts in this building. This entire building is made out of M3 by 8 screws. M3 by 8 button head screws. I'm so annoyed. And yeah, I have a ton left. Look at this. And there's bags of them over there. Oops, a couple of them fell. I don't care anymore. They sent a bag of spares, but when I talked to the manufacturer in China actually the other day, and they said they usually send about 100 spares because they're not the best quality of M3 by 8. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? And he said they're cheap. And I'm like, yeah, I noticed that because I keep breaking the heads off of them. Well, I'm done with the exterior. Today we're doing interior stuff, and I figured I'd bring everybody along. At least he's honest. I mean, yeah, and I'll be frank. I got what I paid for, $1,600 in steel, lightweight steel. But by the time I'm done with it, it should survive 120-mile-an-hour winds because I'm, I'm adding framing to the actual framing, not separating a wall. So I'm building onto the engineering that they have already built. We're actually going to be adding 2 new trusses, one here and then one in the center back there. No, 3 trusses. We're going to be adding another one there. And you guys can't see my lighting, but this is only half of it. I temporarily put it up. Let me show you guys. Look at these awesome hexagon lights. This is only half of them. They're just put up with zip ties right now. But I'll show you over here. Let's see. So let's see. So yeah, you guys see this right here. The way this works is you've got a Simpson strong tie here and one on the bottom. No, actually, I'm only going to be putting them on the bottom because I don't need them on top. And then This will sit right here, and it will tie directly in. If you guys can see that. So that's how I'm going to be tying all the framing together. So, oops, forgot to move the camera. Crap. I should just change cameras. By the way, have you guys noticed how fat I got? Yeah, we don't know why. I got to talk to my doctor. I did another sudden spike from about 270 to 290 in a 2 month span, even with working all that I've done. And it hasn't been great. Thank you, Suzanne. So yeah, the lighting actually has a rectangular box that should go around it, but I'm actually going to be changing that up since it's modular. And I'm going to leave the hexagons up above, and I'm going to be putting the hexagon on this wall here because the actual workbench for the workshop is going to be right behind me. It's going to be 6 foot by 32 inches. Uh, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to be making it standing height, not sitting height, so I can get off my butt. And it's going to hurt, but I want to make more standing content for you guys. The issue is I am worn out. I have been working day and night for 10 days now to put this building up. And I have pushed my body beyond its limits. That's the reason I haven't been streaming at all. I think I did what, one game stream? It's going to be a workshop. This is a building that I built. It's 13 by 22, purchased off of Amazon, poured a concrete pad, and it's going to be a little workshop for me so I can get all my crap out of the house because the wife is tired of it being everywhere. So yeah, it's going to be a good time. Oh my Lord. But yeah, my health hasn't been doing too well, and I'm trying to figure out what to do about it. I don't really like the doctor. Well, I love the doctor I have now. I don't like the drive to go up to see her. So you just had an idea with the 2x4s and mounting them. You have 2 rooms yourself. Well, I won't be volunteering for that, Suzanne. What's your idea, Spawn? I would let you jump into a Discord call, but I don't have Discord installed on this machine, and I'm not sure it's powerful enough to handle it right now. There are 3 cameras hooked up to this thing, and I didn't get time to actually create scenes for everything. So it's just a little i5 laptop with 16 gigs of RAM. So it seems to be doing pretty well, though. How's the audio, by the way? You guys, is the audio awful? I would think because of this steel building, it would just be absolutely awful. What's up, Clown Hammer? How you doing, brother? Suzanne, I'm 33 years into it, so I don't play around with my health. My health, I just have very bad doctors. It's sounding good. Oh, that's awesome. You doing well? Just getting started? Yeah, we might take a quick break here in a minute so I can go get more coffee. But then we actually got to get to work and get some stuff done. So I don't know how the audio is going to end up. But yeah, I gained about 20 pounds in 2 months, and they don't know what's going on, and I'm a little concerned about it. So I will I will figure it out here very shortly, and we will see what's going on. And make efforts to get it taken care of because I lost all of the gains that I did when I went down to 260. I've lost everything. Check the comment. What comment? What comment and where? Oh, there you are. If you put one underneath facing the wall, one on top, that would be more stability, but a bit more work. Oh no, they will be. There will be vertical ties into it as well. Yeah, yeah. There will be vertical ties into it. Here, let me show you. Let me turn the camera completely around, and you can see the west wall. It's going to be like that. This is the west wall that is actually completed. Toolbox, towel hang over the window because that window gets really hot in the sun. There we go. But anyway, what did we say? We get some stuff done. Yeah, I was going to clad it just like a lot of the farmers do with the steel buildings out here, but I decided I needed actually more support, mostly for the electrical. No, the door. there's a side door. It's on the north side. Yeah, we had a storm come through last night, and it didn't leak or anything. I was actually very happy about that. But the two big doors are on that side, and those are actually going to get completely removed and walled in. Why is this doing this? What is going on? Stand by, everybody. We got an issue here. The tripod is no cooperating. There we go. Ah! Camera is all confused right now. Ah, there we go. There we go. I bet you I just made everybody dizzy as hell. No, the camera was loose on the tripod. I'm like, what the heck's going on? But yeah, the big double doors, we're going to actually, because of the way they're designed, I don't know why they designed them intentionally like this, but they designed it to where you can put a concrete bump right here or a bump of some sort for a weather seal and, to keep water out. Well, I'm going to completely remove the doors. These will be completely gone. We're going to frame all of this in, and then I'm going to create a 36-inch door. I'm going to build it myself and put it on that side right there, right here. And the rest of this is going to be completely walled in because I don't need double doors. I thought about doing a 40-inch door, and I still may do that. But 36, I think, is going to be plenty. It's wide enough that I can get big printers and stuff in. I may do a 40-inch because there's a possibility come the near future, right over here, right in this area, there's a possibility that there will be a CNC in here, a full automated CNC. I've been talking to a gentleman in Greeley, which is about 2 hours to the west of me. And he has a CNC in his garage that he wants to upgrade to a newer model. His is about 10 years old. And he's considering sponsoring it to the stream. Now, here's the thing. It's a 240 volt model, right? All right, Spawn. So it's 240. I'm bringing 240 into the building, 220, whatever, power-wise. It's not a 480 volt or anything like that, thank God. And it's not three phase. So it is a consumer, what they call a prosumer edition CNC. The the issue I have is I'm only running a 100 amp circuit out here from the main. It takes 50 amps of its own power to run it. So I'll deal with that down the road. That also means yanking out the service line that I'll be installing and installing something bigger. As well as upgrading some of the internal wiring. Now we're going to have 8 outlets total on each wall. There'll be a 4-pack here, 4-pack here, 4-pack here, 4-pack here, and those will be on 20 amp circuits. The circuits that are on this side of the building are 15 amp. Lights will be on a 15 amp. And I'm following all of the law in order to get all this done. So we're running 12-2 on north and south walls. West wall is going to have 14-2. Lighting is 14-2. And then on this wall, we're also going to be running a. So no, actually, I'm not in the planning stages. Yo, what's Killa? How you doing, brother? Sweet, brother. I'll if you got raid set up, I'll raid to you when I get done. Appreciate you being here. But on this wall, we're going to be running something a little bit bigger for our 220 circuits. I have everything already. The 220 wires outside. There's a spool of 14-2 there. There's a box full of electrical outlets and boxes and you name it. I've got Wagyu, I've got wire nuts. Everything has already been purchased. We're not in the planning stages. It's being done. I have put a lot of time and effort into this building, and we are about $3,000 over budget as it is. The building itself, you know, it was the price that I expected, but all these little extras have added up, and I've been nickel and diming myself to death, and it's frankly driving me bonkers. God, I'm fat. And yeah, I'm wearing a back brace in case anybody's wondering, because I can't walk without it anymore. But speaking of, guys, give me just a minute. I'm going to take the mic off. I will be right back. I'm going to go get some more coffee. Let me know in chat. I'm halfway to the building. 5 feet from the building. Now I'm in the building. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, So let's get to work. Hopefully, I'm going to pre-warn you guys. Actually, I'm going to put a limiter on this real quick. That way, nobody gets their ears blown out. Because I am not quite. I'm not quite sure where it's going to max out at, and it should be all right right there. There we go. Oh, by the way, everybody, there is a new gift list. Let me, crap, I don't have my Amazon account on this machine. Well, I'll worry about that next stream, or I'll put it in the description later. But there's a new gift list uh, just for the workshop of things that I would like to have, but I cannot afford because I've spent far too much money on this thing. And I mean far too much money. What the heck is going on there? There. Hot coffee. It's about 43 degrees right now. It's a little chilly. So let's get working. Looks good. What's up, the shrimp fella? Martin, what's happening, brother? So we're going to start on this center wall here because that's where I pointed the camera. Not for any other reason, but just for that one. And like I said, this might get noisy. So let me grab a marker. And we won't be putting up drywall or anything like that. This building is going to have OSB walls that will be painted. Where's the marker? Oh, it's probably in the job bag. So we're going to take one of these strong beams here. And, well, actually, we've already got this one set. So let's go over here and do this. Yeah, well, you guys can't see it. What the heck? I'm going to need to get me one of them OBSBot robotic cameras or something. Oh, self-drilling. Why self-drilling? Because I'm lazy. All right. Oh, oh. Well, that was foolish because apparently there's a hole in that pocket. But yeah, afterwards, if Killa's got everything set up, we will raid into him. Because we need to get the brother some love. So the nice thing about this is there's no need to measure because it is what it is. And you guys actually think I'm not going to put a drill bit through that? You're nuts. Self-drilling doesn't mean that they actually go in well. It just means they go in. And the easier time I have of putting them in, the better. So we're actually, yes, we're going to drill pilot holes. Come here, drill bit. Little itty bitty pilot holes. Okay, and we're going to get that set. What's up, Papa Squid? How you doing, brother? This workshop is mostly going to be used for, here, let me turn the camera around because I'm not sure what happened. Um, but it's going to be used for my CNC, my 3D printing, and just about anything, some woodworking, all that good stuff. Um, yeah, that's what it's going to be for. It's a 13 by 22 building that I bought off of Amazon, and I can tell you that it's tough to put together, but you got what you paid for, though. It didn't leak last night in last night's storm, so that's a good thing. We're going to be replacing the rear doors, framing that in, putting one single 36 or 40-inch door in, just to bring in larger things. And I've got I was going to go with a PTAC unit for heating and cooling, but I decided against that because a single all-in-one solution for that seems silly. Because if it breaks, then the whole thing's dead. So we will be going with a mini split and a separate heater. The mini split will happen next year. Um, the heater will happen in a couple weeks. So that side already has wood on it, so I don't need to put that on there. So let's go ahead and turn the camera and make sure y'all can see it. And I apologize if I'm walking jankily, but you guys know it. My body's broken, so let's get this out of the way so we can see. That is the dullest drill bit on earth. Let's find another one. You guys ever do that? You go through your drills and you go, well, I think it's time I either bring out the drill doctor or buy a new drill. Funny part is I have a brand new set in the house, but I don't want to go back in there to go get it. Then we're going to have a fun time after this is all said and done organizing this thing. And we've been printing Gerari drawers for those in the 3D printing realm. Pretty much night and day. There we go. Same size. Little 3/16. Ah, Jesus, that hurt. You gotta go back to work? All right. Oh, you're back. You just got to work. Oh, yeah, that works. Nope. It was just weak. I'll be right back. We're gonna go grab the other one, the actual new set. Ow. Can you all But I have a feeling you guys aren't listening to me through the right microphone. I have a feeling you guys are listening through the headset microphone, which is interesting. Let's find out. All right. Now that should be oh my god, that you were listening through the headset, not my wireless mic. Holy cow. Well, I'm bringing a 100 amp circuit out here, and here let's go through the building real quick. So this wall, come on, camera. There we go. Why is it doing this? Why is it doing this? Okay, we'll just turn it that way. But this wall here will have a 20 amp here with 4 outlets, 20 amp here with 4 outlets, 240 over in the corner at 30 amps. And on the same thing on this wall, except for no 240. This far wall, let me turn over here. Really? I am not sure what's going on with this camera. I apologize. This thing is like, it's loosening up, and I don't know why. Let me bring this up here. See if I can't find a way to stabilize this, because, oh my God, this thing is, all right, I'm taking the camera off of the tripod. Okay, guys, hold on a second. The cable got all sorts of messed up. So I'll hold the camera. This wall, right there, right where I'm pointing, there'll be a 4 outlet 20 amp. Now over here at the far corner, 4 outlet 20 amp. Same thing on this wall, except for in the far corner, there'll be a 30 amp 240. There'll be a 100 amp box, 100 amp, there it is right there, sitting on the floor, 65 foot going to the main. I've planned it out to where it's a 100 amp circuit, but there's only going to be 80 amps actually utilized at most. Internally here, I'll be putting an 80 amp breaker. At the box, it's 100 amps. And this is the way I was told to do it by an electrician friend of mine. Papa Squid, if you have differing opinions, please let me know while I fix this tripod, because this thing is driving me batty. Holy smokes, that thing was I don't know what's going on with my tripod. There we go. So we'll bring this back up, put it back on the stand. And like I said, everybody, I do apologize. This stream was put together rather hastily. What is going on? Go in. There we go. The stream was put together a little bit hastily, so let's see what we got here. Oh, okay. Now that you are all, oh, you found the wish list ID? Okay, cool. Thank you. Let me actually open that thing up. I'm still adding a few things to it, and some of it's not needed any longer. But the signs, I think, would be epic, and some of the just tchotchkes and stuff. I am looking for a fridge for this thing though, and of course we will need all the LED lighting. Yes, we're spray foaming after the framing is done tonight. I will be spray foaming the walls. I bought a froth pack kit, so we're gonna get her done. I'm in Colorado, so it's extraordinarily hot in the summer and very cold in the winter. Where I live here in Colorado, it actually gets colder in the winter than it does in Anchorage, Alaska, on average. Northeast Colorado. So, but yeah, okay. We have drill bit. We had, oh, there he is. I was like, where's the drill bit, man? But yeah, if you have a differing opinion or suggestions for the electrical, I would be happy to take it. Because my electrician friend, well, I'll just say he's a good friend. He may not be the greatest electrician. That's a good drill bit. But apparently, I was talking to my wife about this because I feel really bad for spending this kind of money. And she said that this is a reward for putting up with her for almost 30 years. I would have done it anyway, but Simpson strong tie for the win. Oh, that ain't going nowhere. That's going nowhere. Vertical studs are both, actually. So most of the vertical studs in the building that are currently existing are all metal. It'll be adding additional support for the walls, like as you see back here. So this wall is framed out. The electrical is done. Well, it's ran anyway. Got to add a few staples, but that's one thing I don't understand is how come you still have to add staples if you're going to be spray foaming the damn thing? Because there's no way those cables move in spray foam. But where it is actually going to be joining through the steel, I'll actually be putting rubber grommets as suggested by a code, I guess. That's what I was told to do anyway. All right, so that one sits up there nicely. Okay, and the bottom one will be tied from the top. Oh, Lord. And the top is going to be an interesting tie-in because it goes against. Oh, come on. Oh, Lord. All right. I think it'd be best if I shaved an eighth of an inch off of that board. But yeah, so let's get another going here. Marker. Oh. I imagine they're pretty similar codes. I mean, I know our city goes off of the national code. So, but you know, this is an additional building, and we live in a rural area, farm community. So, I was told by the building inspector anyhow that as this is not being built as a, okay, that goes straight up to that. Okay. It's not going to be built as a dwelling, that it's a workshop, that it can simply be clad instead of completely framed properly. Because that's what a lot of the farmers do with the farm buildings out here. So like with a pole barn, which is a steel building, the poles are like 8 to 10 feet of spacing, and then they just run 2x6s or 2x10s between them horizontally, and then they just clad it. They don't actually put any framing up. And I had thought about doing it completely that way, but I actually needed more support for the electrical instead of running conduit everywhere, which, half one to the other, I guess. I don't know. And I lost the drill again. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. And this is what takes me so long, is I intentionally have to take breaks. So you're in Wisconsin, yeah. I remember Squid telling me that, and your weather's pretty much similar. I think it gets hotter here during the summer. That's about the only difference. The biggest difference between us and like Anchorage, Alaska, where I live, is we don't get as much snow. And we're actually going to try a self-tapping function on these things. Okay, maybe we'll just do it that way because it seems to be faster. Yeah, we're just going to do it that way. Forget the drill. Sweet. Houston has a problem. Where's the 1 5/8 screws that I bought? Got to run errands? All right. Well, thanks for dropping by, Heidel. Hiddle, hiddle, diddle. Okay. Ouch. I'm already in agonizing pain, but I continue on because if I don't, this will never get done. Where did that box of screws go? Great. All right, I'll be right back. I think I left it in the house. Dang it. But, I'm back, by the way. There's another part of this journey that I have been considering is I have spent far too long sitting at a desk in my life, you know, either working with computers or playing video games or what have you. And I have reached a point in my life. I am 2 years away. Well, actually, not even 2 years. I am a year and a few months away from being 50. And I already feel like I'm 100 years old. Oh, this is going to be fun. You bastard. I'm going to have a fun time with a magnet with as many screws as falling. And I meant to say 5/8, not inch and 5/8. But it's been a struggle for the last decade. And I know that what I've got is there's no fixing it. But sorry, folks, I need to sit for a minute. Oh, Lord. But I am so tired of feeling, well, let's just be frank, useless. And I set off on this journey to build this thing. And I've had quite a bit of support from my family. I'm not going to say anything about that, but there was a lot of early mornings that I came out here 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, just as the sun came up, and I stayed out here until 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And even with breaks and everything, it was a difficult journey, and it still is. But I want to feel that I've accomplished something. If you guys, you guys can understand that. So, Papa Squid, you retired. Congratulations, my friend. I was medically retired a decade ago. Well, almost a decade ago. Half a decade ago. 5 years ago. Jesus, it's only been 5 years. I've been useless basically since 2016, but even when I owned my own business. But just before COVID hit, my doctor said, you can't work anymore. And it's been a struggle ever since and I had to learn this from my mom's husband. He was a very active individual, a truck driver. And when he retired, it was like he just didn't, initially, he had a hard time, and I was the same way. So, I need to be able to stay active no matter how bad I'm feeling, have something to put my mind to it, and hopefully, make some money while I'm at it. And that's the ultimate goal here, is to keep me active so that, I'm not sitting on my butt all the time. I mean, the 3D printing thing is very fun, and I love creating content for it. But the ultimate goal for that is to actually make a few bucks so that I can actually feel good about myself and support my family again. You know, um, all of my retirement, all of our savings, we used it all through, and thank God I had it, or else we wouldn't have survived the whole 2020 through 2023 crap. We stretched a lot of money out for a long time, but that money is gone, and it's a struggle. The only way this was affordable was, my wife got her back pay from her disability, And that's the next journey, is to file for disability, since I've been told repeatedly I will never work again. My back condition is bad enough to where there's no employer that's going to tolerate me sitting on my, butt 3 or 4 or 5 times every few hours for a few minutes, you know, and or stopping to lay down on the floor to stretch my back out, you know. I've done the call center thing. I was in IT for almost 30 years, and I've done all, I recently, this last year, I got a degree in digital marketing. The year before, a degree in cybersecurity, and they're all worthless because I learned after the fact that the older you get, the harder it is to get a job. And if you have a disability, it is extraordinarily. All right, Mythical, have a good one. It's extraordinarily difficult if you have a disability to find work these days, because they don't want people that are broken, because then they actually have to follow the law. There's a lot of companies out there that do not want to follow the law. I mean, the previous call center that I worked for, they fought against it repeatedly. They fought against the ADA. They fought against the Colorado, whatever the heck it was called, you know, the CARE Act or whatever. I can't even remember what it was all called, for accommodations. And I kind of understand it, because you want people that are there to be productive and to work. And when I was able to work, I worked my butt off. But when I would have a pain day and I would call in, they would get stupidly mad at me. What's up, Brad? Welcome. How you doing, brother? I'm actually sitting just opposite the camera right now because I forgot to move the camera when I sat down, and I'm taking a break. Standing hurts, but we're doing it. We're framing the shop and getting ready for electrical and spray foam this evening. Electrical this afternoon and spray foam this evening. Well, thank you. There's still a lot to go, but there's one thing I do want to do to the concrete, though. I saw something on a TikTok ad that I really want. I want that epoxy colored sand flooring. But that stuff is not cheap. It's about $200 a gallon. And I get it, it's epoxy, it's expensive. But then you also have to go buy the spikes for your shoes, so you're not standing in it. But I found a supplier that actually has the colors of my logo as a marble. I'm like, oh, that would be sick. But the one thing I cannot wait for is to get this thing spray foam so I don't have to hear the steel creaking all the time. But yeah, it's taking me absolutely forever. It, from the measurements, it probably would. It would be a little thin, but it would probably do it. That stuff is actually, I mean, and it would protect it for almost forever, because that stuff is super nice. And it's honestly, it's cheaper than putting any sort of other flooring in here, and it's stain resistant. My wife spilled a soda, and the concrete is already stained, and I'm like, well, it's not a big deal. It's a shop, but the longer I can keep it looking nice, the better, right? And it would seal all of the, uh, you know, the surfaces on the floor that attach to the wall, and it's self-leveling too, so that's a nice thing. So, by the way, Brad, I haven't installed that probe yet. I haven't done anything with my 3D printers in about 2 weeks now. I've printed a few things. I'm printing an afterburner, I believe it is, or was it the stealth burner? I don't remember which at the moment. I'm printing parts for that. How much framing is required to hold the spray foaming? Not much, actually. The froth pack stuff, from what I've been reading, says I can do 20-inch on 24-inch on center. For most stuff. So there's a few vertical supports that I still need to put in on the west wall. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do the ceiling. I've seen farmers do it, and they don't have anything on their metal buildings. The foam just sticks. So it's going to be a try it and see what happens type thing. But I can tell you, this building gets hot. Like I said, it's 42 or 44 degrees outside right now. What does it say? Oh, it's 50 now. And it is probably 75, 80 in here just from the sun hitting it, because the building's brown on the outside. I couldn't get the building in white or a white roof. It was all brown. I mean, that'll help in the wintertime, I guess, with, heating costs, but yeah. Well, you're right, Brad. I could just put up a quick barrier around the work tables and just leave those concrete. So for those of you just joining, let me get my fat ass up here. Excuse my French, but I am, what you're looking at here, this right here, there'll be television right here. This will be where the main work table is. It'll be 32 by 6 foot. And then there'll be workbenches all over on the walls. On that wall there, I'm going to be building shelving, floor to ceiling, and it's going to have enough space for printers on top and in the middle, and then storage on the bottom. Yes, I'll be putting in a roof vent. Actually, there are already roof vents in it. And I will be, believe it or not, well, you can actually see it on the back wall. Those two vents up there. The opposite has the same, and I'll be putting 1/8-inch paneling because that's about all that I think I can do for support. Underneath from here all the way through. So there will be the air gap that's necessary. Wow, the stream is about 10 seconds behind. That's interesting. But yeah, basically just above where the doors are, about 4 inches above where the doors, about 1.5 inches below where those vents are, I'll be sealing the roof in. The camera was still turning. That's hilarious. But because of the toxic fumes of some of the filaments that we use, like ABS and ASA, there's going to be forced air venting, and one side of those vents is going to be just for that, to 6-inch blower fan, so that fresh air is brought in constantly. And then the other side will have fresh air intake. So, and even at that, I'm actually working on fire suppression too. I've got a friend of mine at the fire department who is guiding me, and says that they have a few spare parts that they might, give to me for a quick and easy fire suppression system. So we'll see how all that works, you know. But I'm trying to think of every conceivable thing, because, printers do have the ability to catch on fire. We all know this. So this one up here, like I said, these ones are a little bit interesting because these are right next to the support beam. I think I'm gonna have to tie these in a little bit differently, because these are tight in there, and I don't think I can get one of those brackets in here without compromising that. So I may end up having to drill that from the backside and just use the verticals in between. Well, yeah, air coming in will be passive air, 6-inch. Brad, you know the exhaust fan that Jerry got 3D HP for his laser. That's what I'm getting. One of those, and I'm going to be printing a custom vent to go, above, just for that, with a 6-inch. It's going to be 6-inch the entire way. But there'll just be a vent in the ceiling. I can't remember what the brand of those things are, but they're fairly quiet. It'll be up in the ceiling, and it's not going to have a really long run. It's going to be it's literally going to be, let's see, right about here, almost dead center in the middle of the building. So it sucks, all the air out that way. And I'm sorry, I'm having some problems standing up right now. So I'm just going to continue going because, I'm enjoying this. This is the first time I've streamed in a couple of weeks now. I've tried to do the live building stream, and I apologize to everybody for not being able to get that accomplished. The Vivor, yeah. I checked into both of them, and I can't remember what the other one is. It's on my order list. It's one of the few last things that I'll be getting that I can afford. It's like, so I was going to build a brand new stream PC for out here. And I was talking to my wife last night. I'm like, I can't do that. We don't have the money for it now, because there's been so much put into this. What started off as $3,000-$4,000 project is double that right now. And it's just nickel and diming the living crap out of me. The concrete was supposed to be $700, but I didn't have the help to actually finish the concrete. So the concrete guy himself offered to do it at a discount. And I mean, like, big discount, like half off. So, but that still doubled the cost for me. But I may do another stream about, the render. I don't know if you guys have seen the render. I don't have it out here on this machine, but I did a render of how this building will end up looking. And right now I've got I think it's a 36-inch or a 40-inch television that'll be going on that wall that the camera's pointed at, where, it's going to be just, at the very end of the work table, so I can just look over and see chat. And then there's going to be something fun actually at the end over here where the cutoff saw is. See, this thing got loose again. What the heck? But right over in that far corner. So, like I said, this whole thing, these doors are coming off. We're going to frame this in. I'm going to put my own door in because these are junk. That was the only thing that freaked me out last night because there's nothing tying them in the bottom. So we're getting rid of that. We're going to frame it all in. But in this corner right here, there's going to be a recline. There's going to be 2 lazy boy type recliners and an end table here, so we can have chill and chat in a comfortable setting. But then we're going to have wall of printers, work table, more workbenches on this side. The CNC that I have currently, the tabletop CNC is going to go in that corner, and then eventually we're going to replace it with a bigger one of some sort. And I'd like to get a laser too at some point, but I don't have the money for that. So we're gonna have to wait until I actually can stream more full time again and build the channel to where it actually is making money. By the way, we're only streaming on YouTube today because I didn't want to deal with the whole Twitch side of things because I don't have everything set up for that. And I have reached out to some sponsors to see if they would. Oh, the filament wall is going to be right next to the television and to the door. There's going to be a couple parts to it. I have reached out to a couple of possible sponsors about getting filament supplied. I've got quite a bit now, but we need a lot more. But there's also hardware things that need to be done. So that's going to be a process. All sorts of stuff. What's up, projects? How you doing, brother? I apologize, by the way, everybody. That link generator is not working. So just click on project's name and just go to his channel that way. I need to fix that. But definitely give love to him. How you doing, brother? I'm trying to frame, but my back is not dealing with me very well. My back is telling me to piss off. That's what it's doing. Ow. All right, so let's do it this way. 33. Make sure this is the same. 33. 33. All right. I apologize. This might get loud for a minute. Let's unplug the fan because it's not even being run. Well, actually, this whole thing is unplugged. Yeah, I've got a industrial extension cord running from my RV box on the outside of my house on a 30 amp circuit. So I'm good for the moment. I missed my RV, but I have a friend for Rocky that says he will lend me his RV for Rocky Mountain for next year. So I may have a place for a few people to stay, but I got to get that guaranteed from him before I commit to it, because I don't want anybody getting screwed out over that. Make plans to have a place to stay for Rocky Mountain, and then I turn up and there's ouch. There's nowhere to be. And there will be a unique storage solution for my table saw and this saw built into one of the tables in the shop. I saw a YouTube video and I decided I'm going to go with the method. And it's a quick hide system that you can leave it as a blank work table or you can bring it up. So I gotta get this raised up. Grab one of these. There we go. Really? Okay. So projects. What have you been up to other than Nerf blasters? I really do want that goat one. That thing is absolutely sick. Okay. Oh, this is what happens when you don't have the right things to happen. Was that loud, guys, by the way? I bet you it was. I do apologize, but there's nothing I can do about it. There's not a thing I can do about it. Yeah, no. Hey, what's up, Havoc? How you doing, brother? Yeah, well, my buddy's RV is a what is it? It's one of them big bus ones. It's what is it? A Class A, and it sleeps like 9 people. So I'm waiting to get confirmation from him to make sure that next April that he'll allow me to use it so that I can reserve the parking spot at the event center, because apparently you need to reserve those things like 6 months in advance. What's up, Cynthia? How you doing? Waiting to find out what surgery is going to be. I'm glad you're actually getting it taken care of, brother. I wish they would do the same for me. Oh, I didn't put screws in that yet. I'm like, why is that loose? Oh, ow. All right. Oh, I got to turn the camera around again. Yeah, I should probably put one of those tracking cameras on my wish list, because that would be so much better for this type of work. Yeah, next year I'll go to 3D Printopia, hopefully. May end up in a wheelchair doing it, but I'll be there. That's what I keep telling my doctors. I don't even care anymore if I end up in a wheelchair, just as long as I'm able to be mobile without a lot of pain. You know what I mean? because I'm kind of tired of pain, not being able to move around and struggling to do just daily tasks. I bet you that was really loud. Sorry about your ears, guys. But this is an active construction zone, so. Huh, okay. It went in. There. That ain't going nowhere now. Oh, golly. And there'll be some additional framing I got to do in here to hold the television as well. Well, hopefully the noise limiter is and noise suppression stuff is taking care of the very loud noises.
Papa Squid, $20 super chat. You're
Papa
doing a real
Squid.
good job and I
Thank
hope
you,
your
my
back
friend.
feels better. Let me know if you have any electrical questions.
I will definitely do that. I will reach out because I will be the first to admit I'm really good with DC electronics. AC is a little bit of a different beast, you know. Whoa, that sucked. Yeah, if I drop a screw, I wait till later to pick it up with a magnet because the less I bend over, the better. Well, I split that. Don't care. It's going to be behind there anyway. Would you look at that? Thank you so much, by the way, for that $20 super chat again. I really do appreciate it. Now, crap, we have to measure. We have to do math now, chat. Where's the? Oh, it's over here. Let's see what we got. We got 81.5 inches. All right, you can come up with the answer to that real quick. What is half of 81.5? If I'm correct, that'd be 40 3/4, wouldn't it? Uh-oh. Exactly, 40 3/4. And I didn't even need a calculator. So that's where we're sitting with that one there. You know, I remember when Stanley tape measures were good. Oops. Come on. I just need to mark it, man. There we go. Owie. Okay. And then what we will do from there is we'll frame two more and we'll put those on 16-inch center. And then we'll frame the TV box around all of that. It'll make sense when it's done, believe me, even if it doesn't make sense now. Okay. Toenail trip, by the way. Actually, I don't want to split the wood anymore, so I'm going to do this the proper way if you don't have a jig. Pre-drill. And then we will come in from the bottom as well. Yeah, all my drill bits are dead apparently. All right, let's bring that just out just a hair. Okay, that did not work the way it should. I have the wrong angle. There we go. Yep. Great minds think alike, Papa Squid. Great minds. Ah, come on. I hate that when you're toenailing things and it just thinks again. There we go. Great minds think alike. I used to have one of those jigs. I was just being lazy and didn't want to pre-drill. So I would have used my air nailer, but the seals are dead, are busted on it. And I need a new O-rings. Probably something I will do to fix on stream. Restoring an air nailer from the 1990s. Okay. So, perfecto. Now this particular wall, since we're loading it up with crap like a TV, we're actually going to be putting extra studs in. 16 inches on center. It may seem excessive, but I would rather be excessive than regretful. You know what I mean? I would much rather be. Oh, I would. My stepdad and I never did get along, and he was an old Texan, and he was an asshole. I'm going to sit down and tell you guys a story. But the one thing he did teach me, and I was very appreciative of it, was over engineer everything because you will never regret over engineering it because it's less likely to break. A good example is he and I built a barn out at the farm and where I grew up, and instead of using 4x4 posts, we used 8-inch drill stem. You screwed in every, holy smokes, you never used a single nail. That is impressive. Absolutely, because screws don't come undone like nails do. I mean, screws are interesting little beasties. So, holy moly. So, here's something. Papa Squid. Now, let me angle the camera here so you can see it. The electrical on this wall, specifically right where we're working right now. Oh my gosh, come on. Why does this thing keep coming loose? I don't understand. I move it just a hair and the whole camera comes loose. All right, yeah, you can see from there. But so there'll be an electrical box right here for the TV and then for all the other stuff because it'll be hidden behind the TV. There are times that nails are better. I know, I know. You're right. Nails don't shear off like screws. Need more coffee. Amen to that. I'll wait to ask him a question. Oh, oh my lord. But the end goal today, guys, is to have the framing done and to have the walls spray foamed by the time I go to bed tonight. So that later on when I'm working in here, I don't get completely baked because thermometer in here says it's close to 85 right now. Mm. Yeah, I need to get one of those Ozbot cameras. That way it can follow me. I don't have to manually move it. That that DSLR that I picked up dirt cheap off of Amazon is nice, but it is what it is. Hanson Hollers, what's up? Yes, we're framing out all the way to the concrete. Oh, you're just walking to the kitchen. Oh, headset, nice. Um, so the corners there, yeah, we are framing all the way to the concrete. Oh, but anybody is familiar. So my idea for running the electrical, instead of going through the stud here, was coming from the box, stapling up on the top plate here, drilling a hole coming up, and then following the roof line back over, or go that direction, either way. But that way I'm not drilling through the metal of the building, because that's just weakening the building itself. I mean, I'm putting enough screws in it with these strong brackets. I don't want to do large 1.5 or 1 inch holes, or even half-inch holes. I mean, so here, here's the deal, guys. I'm fairly well versed in this stuff, but I am always interested in hearing others' opinions on how things should be done. What's the point of the board going through the middle of the wall? So there'll also be studs every 16 inches here. This is for the TV mount. This is the center right here of this whole space. This is going to be where the TV mounts. This north wall is the most important to actually frame out as proper as I can, because where we are, the highest winds that we get come from the north side. What do you, the horizontal board? You mean this one? Or this one? The one on the bottom here, it's still continuing. I'm building it's boxing it in completely, but the way this is being set up is I'm trying to get as much support as possible. Yeah, the bottom one, yeah. So I had thought about going all the way up and down, but the way this building is engineered, I had to do it this way on this particular wall. Funny enough, I don't have to do that on the south wall. I can go all the way up and down. It's built just a hair differently, and I don't understand why. And I'm gonna have to actually take those screws out and redo those, because that's no bueno for me. But the funny part is, it's only this section right here that has this particular problem. The rest of it is all box frame, normal box framing. Oh, yeah, I don't understand why they did it this way. Don't ask me. Oh, God. But yeah, that's pretty much where it sits right now, guys. The pain's getting to me right now. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and call it for now. I appreciate everybody being here. I may do another live stream this afternoon, show progress. But I think right now I need to get off stream and lay down and stretch for a little while. So I want to thank everybody for showing up. I didn't know if anybody would show up, because you know what? I haven't streamed in a while. So, but let's do this. Let's go ahead and set up a raid to go over to Kill a Prince channel. Let me, come on. Really? Oh, the mouse turned off. Wireless devices, man. All right. Let's get this set up here to raid Killa. and click there and save that. All right, everybody. Let's move the camera over here so you guys can see me. Yeah, believe it or not, Papa Squid, they don't. The Chinese building instructions don't have any of that. So we'll get her figured out, though. It's not too hard to work out the engineering. But everybody, thank you guys for being here. We're going to raid you guys over to Killer Prince right now. I'm going to go lay down horizontally and stretch my back out because it's cramping up really bad and I can't get anything done that way. And it's not making for great content with me bitching about it. So thank you guys for being here. I'll catch you on the flip side, everybody. Have a great one. Look for the next stream maybe this afternoon. Catch you later.